Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to day 6 of quarantine yoga. And we're focusing on a whole body integration today in our practice, from the crown all the way through to the soles of the feet. Day 6 in our self-isolation home practice, and developing that sense of community. As I hear back from a lot of people, that doing this every day at the same time is really helpful to them in creating a continuity and sense of a schedule in their new normal, because everyone's finding themselves in this new normal, and this is testing our adaptability and our resiliency. So if you find yourself having hard conversations in your family, if you're finding with your loved ones these challenging conversations as you adapt to new normals, and if you're finding the stress level within the home as you're figuring things out has increased, then something like this, a daily practice to help you get back into your own internal resources, will help you to manage your day more skillfully, coming from this grounded place within your knowledge of your own self. Sorry if you're hearing some beeps there. So good to be here with you guys. We're going to start from a standing posture and just shake it out through the arms and through the legs, releasing any tension here. And once you find a hip width distance of spacing for the feet, just a few inches apart here, then we'll take the shoulders and roll them back a few times here, rolling through the shoulders. And on the next breath, let's roll the shoulders forward. And then on our next breath, we're going to swim the shoulders back one by one. And then take your elbows into it and go a little wider through the elbows and the shoulders, taking that back stroke one arm at a time, and then bring your whole arm into it. Notice how the chest lifts when we take each arm back. And on that next breath, roll the shoulders back. And then let's take the elbows forward. Forward strokes here, one elbow at a time. Thumbs up. And on that next breath, we're going to take the arms forward. One arm forward at a time. Good, and then release the arms, shake them out. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears, hold that tension, and exhale, release. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see better, but just remain standing as you are. We're going to interlace the fingers and press the palms forward and round out the spine, draw the chin into the chest. So we'll stay here for 3 breaths, directing your breath towards the upper back. As you inhale, breathe into the upper back, and exhale, relax the chin towards the chest. 2 more breaths. Notice a little bend in my knees here. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. And exhale, release, relax the shoulders. 1 more time. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. And exhale, release, relax the arms, roll it out through the shoulders, and shake it out through the feet. And we'll do another oppositional pose here, as we now take the hands behind the back. Now you've got 2 options here. You can either hold on to the elbows and draw the arms back, or you can interlace the fingers together and draw the arms back. So now lifting through the chest, creating that length in the sternum. Inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale, relax the chin towards the chest. We'll do that 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lift through the heart, draw the arms back, and exhale, relax the chin towards the chest. And 1 more time. Inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale, release the chin towards the chest, and then roll it out through the shoulders and shake it out through the feet again. Good. So on that next breath, let's now come to a little bit wider through the legs here, a little bit of a wider stance. The feet are turned out slightly, and you're just going to swing those arms freely side to side. We've done this before a couple days ago, and this just spreads energy from the heart out around the body, gets things moving and flowing. So it's like you're throwing your arms overboard, throwing the arms away from you, creating lots of space at the back of the heart here. A couple more breaths. Good. And then release the arms and shake it out. So moving through a little bit of a standing sequence here. We'll go slow so that you can workshop through modified sun salutation here. On the next breath, let's take the hands and lift them up, lifting the heart, and exhale, forward fold. You can take the hands to the shins here. Let the hands slide down the shins. I'll turn sideways so you can see better. Inhale, lift through the heart, hands slide up, and exhale, release the torso. This is a first forward fold, so just only go as far as the hamstrings allow you to go here. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, torso releases. 2 more of these, moving with the breath. Inhale, heart and chest lifts, rising up. And exhale, surrender. And last one, inhale, heart lifts. And exhale, head releases. On that next breath, inhale, lift the heart up. Bend the knees so your fingertips can come on the floor, and step that right leg back into a lunge, resting your right knee down. Tap the foot out here. Now we're just going to rock the hips back and forth a couple times. Inhale, rock the hips forward. Exhale, pull the hips back. So back and forth, rocking the hips open. You can take blocks underneath the hands here. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, pull the hips back. So finding a rocking motion, rocking the hips open. And exhale, pull the hips back. Inhale, hips forward. And exhale, pull the hips back. On that next breath, when we draw the hips forward, we're going to step that left leg back and come into a child's pose. Open up the knees, sit back, walk the hands forward, forehead rests down, and rock the hips side to side. And on that next breath, we're going to slide ourselves forward so that we can lie down onto the belly and prop ourselves up onto our elbows. I'm going to turn my mat slightly at an angle so you can see better. Propped up on our elbows, we want to have the feet stretching back as far as they can. So take the toes and walk the legs back. We're going to workshop here modified cobra so you can really feel full extension in the lower back. So as you can see, I'm walking those toes back so the legs are long, and then resting the feet down, and then take each toenail and press each toenail down into the floor as if you're stamping a wet nail polish onto the floor with each toe. This activates the leg lines here. And then we're going to take the elbows and press the floor away from us with the elbows, and then bring your attention towards the tailbone and stretch your tailbone down to the heels of the feet. Feel your lower back lengthen here when you do that. So tailbone stretching back towards the heels of the feet. Then bring your attention towards your ears and gently pull the ears back and up. Notice how that lengthens your neck. 2 more breaths here. Tailbone stretched back towards the heels of the feet. Elbows pressing the floor away from you. And toenails pressing into the ground. Ears pulled back and up. Now to relax through the neck here, relax the chin towards the chest and gently rock the head side to side a couple times. Feel that tension melt away as you rock the head side to side. And then release yourself down. Hands come together. Chin or cheek rests on the hands. Bend the knees and windshield wipe the feet side to side. Draw a circle with the feet and opposite direction circle with the feet. And then release the feet down. Slide the hands beside the shoulders and press back into child's pose. Open up the knees and sit back into child's pose. letting your ribs sink down into gravity, hips sinking down into gravity. Rock the hips side to side. And on that next breath, guide yourselves back up onto all fours. We're going to workshop a down dog here. So curl the toes under, pull the hips back, walk your fingertips forward, and on your next breath, press up into your down dog, finding a triangle here in your body. Gently rock the head side to side and up and down, like your head is saying yes, yes, no, no. And then the head is releasing towards the floor, kind of like a bowling ball. The neck is relaxed as we now inhale up onto the toes and exhale, press the heels down. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, press the heels down. And again, inhale up onto the toes. And exhale, press the heels down. Then release back down onto all fours. I want to show you a little trick here in down dog that can take tension away from your wrists. So quite often we load our weight into our wrists for down dog, and then it puts strain on the carpal tunnel here. So instead of loading all that weight right into the wrists, we can practice coming up onto the knuckles. Now watch my hands. Take one hand first, come up onto the knuckles of one hand, and then release. And then other hand, come up onto the knuckles of that hand, a little bit of weight there, and release. And just try that a few times with each hand, pressing body weight into the knuckles. Because when you come into your down dog, an option that you have, I'll just demonstrate here, when you press up, is to try that in your down dog. Pressing up into the knuckles takes some of the weight and transfers it from the wrists into the knuckles. So that's just something to play around with to build strength in the knuckles, okay? So we're back on all fours here. Let's take the left leg and bring the left leg forward into lunge on the left. And again, you can take blocks underneath the hands if you like. Walk that right leg back. And let's rock the hips open. Inhale, press the hips forward. And exhale, pull the hips back. So we're just rocking the hips open here. Inhale, press the hips and heart forward. And exhale, pull the hips back. I want you to feel the movement of a wave ebbing forward and then flowing back on the exhale. So there's this kind of inhale, heart and hips forward. Exhale, hips come back. A couple more of these here. You can close your eyes. Remember that most of my class, you can close your eyes and follow my voice. You don't need to actually be looking. Most of the poses are explained adequately that you can just follow along with verbal instruction. So rocking those hips a couple more times. On that next breath, we're going to draw that left leg back. Open up into child's pose again. Open up the knees, sit back. Walk the hands forward, forehead rest down. We want to open up the knees adequately enough that the ribs are sinking down towards your thighs, okay? And then take the hands and walk them out to the right as far as they can go out to your right. So you'll feel the left rib cage open up there. And bend that right elbow, press the right hand into the floor. And when we do that, this will open up the left rib cage. So breathe space into your left rib cage here, that whole widening and fanning open of your left rib cage. And then release and walk the hands back to center and over to your left, all the way out to your left. And then again, bend that left elbow, press the floor away from you with the left hand. I don't know if you can see the difference here. I'm going to take the hand and now press the floor away, and notice how that presses my right rib cage towards the floor, getting a deeper opening in the intercostals, costal muscles on that right rib cage. And then exhale and release the hands back to center. Guide yourselves back up onto all fours. And we'll do a few cats and cows, creating waves along the spine here. Let's inhale, round out the spine, sit back onto the heels. And exhale, slide the heart forward and up. Close the eyes and find that wave moving along your spine. Inhale, round out, sit back. And exhale, slide the heart forward and up. Two more of these here. Eyes closed, finding that wave moving along your spine. And then release back into a neutral spine. So in that neutral spine, we're going to create some sideways circles here with your belly button. Now, if you notice that your wrists get tired, you can do that little trick that we tried earlier, coming up onto the knuckles, or you can come onto the fists. If we come onto the fists, take your thumbs forward, kind of like the kickstand of a bike here, to act as a little tripod, and then have the insides of the elbows facing towards each other. That just provides a little more stability there. So you can try any of those and see which one supports you best. Now, we want to bring our attention towards the belly button, creating these sideways circles. We're going to inhale the belly towards the floor, reach it out to the right. Exhale, press the belly back and reach it out to the left. So sideways circles. Inhale, belly down, reach it out to the right. Exhale, press up and reach out to the left. One more of these here. Notice how the head just gently rolls in the opposite direction of the belly. And then we'll do that counterclockwise. Inhale, belly down, reach the belly out to the left. Exhale, press back and reach it out to the right. Inhale, belly down, reach it out to the left. Exhale, press back and reach it out to the right. And then release here and tap the leg out, tap, tap, tap. Lift the shins up and rock the shins side to side, wagging the tail. And then release the shins down and rock your hips side to side. Let the head hang here so we're not holding any tension in the neck as you just rock those hips side to side. Now let's draw a few large circles here with those hips. Large, big circles. Here we go. Like you're stirring a pot with a spoon of your hips and getting every corner and edge of the pot here. And your head just naturally lolls in the opposite direction of the hips. And then go counterclockwise with the hips, opposite direction, letting your head just roll in any way that it feels comfortable. And on that next breath, guide yourself back up onto all fours. And let's help that right leg forward into lunge on the right. So I do encourage you to have blocks here for this next portion of the class underneath the hands. In fact, I will grab mine really quick here so that you guys can follow along. Now again, if you don't have blocks, you can use a telephone book if you still have one of those around, or a big school book, a big thick school book. So on that right side, we want to find a nice lunge here on that right side. Walk that left knee back and take your hands to the right thigh. Now you can take a towel or a blanket underneath that left knee so you've got some extra cushioning underneath that left knee, okay? Because we want to have support for that left knee, not to have a hard surface underneath it. So take a moment to grab a towel or a pillow or anything soft to place underneath that left knee. Then we'll take that left hand to the left hip. I'm going to turn so you guys can see a little bit better and help guide that left hip forward. So for your next couple breaths, just have a gentle rocking motion here of guiding that left hip forward. You'll feel the top of the hip where the psoas connects from the lower spine to the femur bone, thigh bone. You'll feel that open up. So one more breath here. Good. On that next breath, take the hands back towards your blocks here. Curl the left toes under and straighten out that left leg. Inhale, find a long line, and exhale, release the knee down. We'll do that 2 times. Inhale, straighten out the left leg, and exhale, release. We want to create as long of a line from the left heel through to the crown of the head as possible. Inhale, straighten out that left leg, and exhale, release. On that next breath, when we straighten out the left leg, we're going to pivot that left foot down flat and kind of root it into the floor. Okay, so that left foot is rooted down. And then you may want to turn your blocks here sideways. We will now straighten out that front leg. Now, if our hips are tight, I want you to take that left leg and walk it out to the edge of your yoga mat to give yourself more room and space for the hips. Okay, you can walk that leg out as wide as you want to create space for the hips, because we're not here to torture the hips. We're here to encourage them to gently open. Okay, so find the spacing that works for your body. Remembering that our yoga practice is about finding what our potential is and playing with your edge, that edge of potential. Once you've found that sweet spot for your legs here, where you're getting an appropriate challenge, then we're going to inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale, hinge at the hips. Just like we did in our forward fold earlier, finding that sweet spot, that pulse. Inhale, lift through the heart. Both legs are straight, and exhale, hinge at the hips. Inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale, hinge at the hips. One more breath here. Now we're going to work on a balancing pose, guys. That's going to challenge your balance, and I highly encourage you to try any variation of this. I'm going to start with the most gentle variation and then give you options from there. We're going to bend the right knee, walk the hands forward, and from there, you're just going to get used to balancing on that right leg. So we inhale, lift the left leg up, and exhale, bend the knee and rest the leg back down. We'll do that one more time, just so you get used to balancing on that right foot. Inhale the left leg up, and exhale, bend the right knee and place the left foot back down. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, release. So on that next breath now, I'm going to get you guys, I'll turn so you can see a little better. I'm going to get you to inhale, lift up, and keep that leg there like you're creating the letter T in your body. Keep the fingertips on the floor. I try not to tell people to use blocks here, because blocks may fall. So better to have the hands on the floor and a little bend in that supporting leg if you need to. And then on that next breath, release the leg back down and rest the knee back down. So you're back in your lunge again. You can take your blocks here and rock the hips again. Inhale, press the hips and heart forward. Exhale, pull the hips back. Inhale, press the hips forward. And exhale, pull the hips back. One more time. Just rocking it out here. And on that next breath, we're going to pull that right leg back onto all fours, and come into child's pose. Open up the knees and sit back. Walk the hands forward, forehead rest down, and rock the hips side to side. Opening up through the triceps here, I'll get you to walk the hands as far forward as the shoulders allow. Forehead rests on your yoga mat. Then we will bend the elbows and bring the hands behind the neck. Now walk your elbows forward slightly and notice how that elongates your triceps, the back of the arms. Then bring your attention to your armpits and press your armpits down into the floor. When you press the armpits down, notice how that lengthens your triceps. It lengthens the back of your arms. Breathe length into the back of your arms here. Really lovely opening for the triceps. One more breath. And then release the hands down and guide yourself back up onto all fours. Let the head hang and rock the hips side to side. So let's do that on the other side now. Help your left leg forward into lunge on the left. And walk that right leg back so you've got a nice deep lunge here, and you can take a towel or a blanket or anything, cushion, underneath that right knee so that there's not such a hard surface underneath your right knee. Then take your hands to the top of the thigh and guide yourself up here. Now, when we guide ourselves up, notice that the pelvic floor here has a tendency to kind of just sink right into gravity. So there's nothing really holding you up here. So we're going to practice a little bit of tensegrity, a little bit of oppositional force, and activate through the pelvic core and belly. So bringing your attention to the pelvic floor, pull the pelvic floor muscles in and up slightly, and bring your belly button in and up slightly. And then bring your attention to your tailbone and root the tailbone down into the center of the earth while the pelvic floor muscles and the belly muscles draw in and up. Suddenly there's energy moving up the spine when you do this. There's a holding and pulling in being created. Then take your right hand to the right hip and gently rock that right hip forward without losing this lovely muscular integration that you just created in your core and floor. Shoulders relaxed here. So this is strengthening the muscles that support you in posture. As we now release the hands back down to your blocks, curl your right toes under and getting ready to straighten out that right leg 3 times. Inhale, straighten out the right leg. Find a nice long line from the right heel through to the crown of the head. And exhale, release the knee down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, straighten that right leg, long line created, and exhale, release. 1 more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, release. As we now pivot that right foot down on your next breath, when we inhale, straighten out that leg, we're going to pivot that right foot down flat and anchor it into the floor. When I say anchor, we want to lift the arch of that right foot so that energetically the arches of the feet are lifted even though all 4 corners of the feet are rooted down into gravity. And then we're going to straighten out that left leg. Remember, you can turn your blocks to support yourself and to give yourself room for the hips to open up. You can move that right leg as far out to the right as you need. So be kind to your body here as you workshop this pose as the hips open up. Be kind to the hips and find that sweet spot that has you playing in your field of possibility. You'll know that field because you'll be opened up and working, but you'll still be able to breathe into the body parts that are tight. Okay, so you're breathing space into those compacted areas, creating new space with your breath. So from here, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hinge at the hips. 2 more times. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, release the torso 1 more time. Inhale, heart lifts. And exhale, release. On that next breath, just stay here for a couple breaths, finding that opening. This can be pretty deep for some of us, for that hamstring opener, before we come into the left leg balance. 1 more breath here. On that next breath, bend the left knee. Walk your hands forward onto the floor so you're a little more stable. Make any adjustments here with that back leg so that you're comfortable as we get ready to play around with balancing on that left leg. So here we go. Inhale that right leg up and exhale, sink it back down. So notice the left knee is bending and straightening, okay? Inhale, straighten the standing leg, and exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, lift, kind of like a teeter-totter. You're just finding the playful teeter-totter in your body. Okay, just playing around like we did when we were kids on the teeter-totter. On that next breath, let's try and find that letter T in the body. Inhale, straighten the standing leg, straighten the back leg, just to the best of your ability. If you need blocks here, by all means, go ahead and use your blocks because we're not going back and forth anymore. Just find the letter T in your body. Find length in the back of the neck. I'm just looking up so I can see you guys, but at the same time, I want you to press the crown of the head forward and lengthen through the back of the neck. And then on that next breath, release back into your lunge. Rest that right knee down. Tap the foot out. Take your blocks underneath your hands. And let's rock the hips open. Inhale, press the hips forward. And exhale, pull the hips back. Inhale, hips and heart forward. Again, finding that wave in your body. Exhale, pull the hips back. Inhale, hips and heart forward. And exhale, pull the hips back. And on that last one, we're going to come back into child's pose. So draw that left leg back. Open up the knees. Sit back into child's pose. Walk the hands forward. And just like we did earlier where we were bending the elbows, we're going to bend the elbows and this time use the hands to massage from the shoulders up to the neck and from the neck back down to the shoulders. So a little bit of tender loving care here, a bit of self-care, massaging from the shoulders up to the neck and from the neck back down to the shoulders. Release the hands down, guide yourselves back up. And let's come on to our seats. So in our seats here, I will turn my mat sideways so you guys can see better. In our seats, we're going to take the legs and open them up into the letter V. Now you may want to take your blocks here. You also may want to have a pillow in front of you that you can use to kind of bring yourself forward, either a pillow or a bolster. So I'll demonstrate with both, either a pillow or a bolster in front of you if you want to relax onto a surface here when we come into this pose. So opening up the legs into the letter V, let me just demonstrate here how to activate through the legs when we come into our forward fold. Take your hands to your right thigh here and see how I'm gripping a hold of the quad muscles. I'm going to grab the right leg and rotate it open, so kind of spinning it back. And then do the same thing with your left side. Grab a hold of the quad muscles here in the hamstring and rotate it open out to the left, which spins the hip open. So now your hips are spun open, external rotation. Do the same thing with the shins. Rotate the right shin and then rotate the left shin. And what this does is it just kind of signals the body here, okay, we're expressing open, we're rotating open. And then take your knuckles to the inner hamstrings here and just go ahead and rub up and down to bring circulation through what we're about to open up. And then use the sides of your palms like little karate chops all the way up and down the insides of the hamstrings. Up and down, perhaps along the tops of the quads as well. Wherever there's tension there, you're just telling the muscles the messages to relax. Now bring your attention towards the feet and spin the feet open as well. So it's like you're taking your pinky toes and reaching your pinky toes towards the floor. How close they get to the floor doesn't matter. The action is what matters. So you're feeling that possibility in the body of that opening rotation. Now, before we come forward, I want you to bring your attention to your tailbone here. And remember, we've done in the last few classes that string at the tailbone. Take the string and pull it back. When you do that, notice how the chest lifts. So the string of your tailbone, imaginary string of your tailbone, pull it back towards the wall behind you and notice how the chest lifts up. So there's sudden lengthening in your torso, increasing the space between your chest, your clavicles, and your belly button. And that's what we want. Nice expression and length here through your torso. It's like everything is awake and open in your upper body. So now, little more cues here to really get the most out of this pose. Take your legs and push them down into the floor. And when we do that, notice how that helps to lift your chest even more. You can really take those hands away from the floor and you've got full grounding here and postural support that you don't even need to rest your hands on anything. Doing this, just this is work. This is working. So now see if you can inhale, lift the heart a bit. Keep those legs pressing down. Keep the legs rotated back. Keep your tailbone reaching back behind you. And you might even be sweating here because this is work. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, and exhale, hinge at the hips. You can take the hands forward. You can have your pillow in front of you if you want. You can kind of fold it up and take it into the belly as you come forward. But keep pressing the floor away from you with the legs. So many things you can use as props here, a pillow or a bolster in front of you, or you can even take blocks in front of you. See how I turn the block here and allow my belly to press into it, just so it provides you a stable surface, something to ground and root down into. Hands can either come forward as you walk forward, or you can help to continually roll the shins or thighs back. Check that string at your tailbone. Is it still actively pressing back behind you? So with each breath, the inhale lifts the torso slightly, and each exhale allows you to surrender forward a little bit more. So let's stay here for 4 more breaths. Inhale, heart lifts. Close the eyes so you can really sink and surrender into your body, letting go here. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, heart lifts. And exhale, surrender. 2 more breaths here. Keep pushing the floor away from you. Keep pulling the tailbone back. Keep rotating the legs back. Spread the toes open, and that really sends the signals down the muscles of the legs, right down into our extremities. Last breath here. And on that next breath, place your fingertips on the floor and inhale, lift the heart up. And exhale, release the chin towards the chest, and slow motion roll the head side to side, letting gravity open up the sides and back of your neck. Inhale the head back up to center and shake it out through the legs. Shake, shake, shake. Use your knuckles once again to scrape along the hamstrings and the quads and the outsides of the quads, the IT band. You've developed new length there, so now you want to encourage that length to stay. And then use your hands to help bring the legs together and shake it up. I'll turn sideways so you guys can see better. And shake it out. Open up the feet and windshield wipe the feet side to side. So from here, we're going to work on, make sure that I start with the right leg. We're going to work on a 1 at a time hamstring opener here, 1 leg at a time. So as you can see, I'm bending the right knee, and there's a little bit of space between the right foot and the left leg. So there's about 1 foot of space there, okay? And then take the hands behind you and push that left heel forward. So left heel is pushing forward. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, and then exhale, hinge. And notice how my torso is sliding past that right thigh. From there, we'll take that right arm up, inhale the right arm up, and exhale, reach the right arm forward. Now you've got a couple options here. You can either place the right hand on the floor, or you can wrap the right arm behind you, behind that right leg, and use the left hand to work the hands together towards each other. Now, if this is hard to reach your hands together, you can use a strap of any kind, even just a dish towel. Grab a dish towel, grab a hold of either end of the dish towel, and walk your hands together on that dish towel to your degree of ability. Remember, our practice is about finding your degree of ability and playing with that edge of it. Then from there, inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, hinge at the hips, and remember that imaginary string at your tailbone. Pull it back and push your left heel forward. Feel that beautiful opening of that left hamstring. Spine is not rounded out here. Heart is lifted. Torso, front of the body is long. 1 more breath. Pushing that left heel forward. pulling your tailbone back. Beautiful opening through that left leg. And on that next breath, release the hands. Reach both hands forward. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release the hands down. Just relax here. Inhale, reach the arms up, coming back up. And exhale, release the arms up beside you. Roll it up through the shoulders. Take both legs forward and shake it out. Open up the feet. Windshield wipe the feet side to side. And inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. And exhale, point. Shake it out again. And let's come on to the other side. So now we'll work up and open up that right hamstring. So pushing that right heel forward and walk that left foot open so there's a nice foot of space at least between the legs here. Take the hands behind you and walk them forward. Inhale, lift through the crown, and exhale, hinge forward. See how the torso slides forward past that left leg. And as you do this, keep pushing your right heel forward. Imaginary string at the tailbone, pull that string back. Then we'll reach that left arm up. And exhale, reach it forward. And either place the hand on the floor or wrap the hand around and work your hands towards each other. Now don't lose the integrity of the pose here, which is to press that right heel forward and pull the tailbone back. Same principle here. When you press that right leg down, what happens? So let's try that. Press the right leg down into the floor and notice how your heart lifts and the chest rises and the spine becomes long. So for your next two breaths, inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale, hinge at the hips, but keep pulling the tailbone back and right heel forward. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinge at the hips. Last breath here. Inhale, spine lengthens. Exhale, hinge at the hips and keep pressing the floor away from you with that right leg. And then release the arms down. Inhale, reach the arms forward. And exhale, release the arms down. And inhale, reach the arms up. Torso lifts. And exhale, release the arms beside you. Roll it up through the shoulders. Take that left leg forward and shake it up. Hands behind the hips. Open up the feet and windshield wipe side to side. On that next breath, we're going to come on to our backs here. So lying down onto our backs. Let's hug the knees into the chest with the hands. And rock the knees side to side. Draw a big circle with the knees and opposite direction circle with the knees. And butterfly knees here with your hands on the knees. Go ahead and open and close the knees in a kind of butterfly flapping sequence here. And this rocks the ball and socket joint of the hip open. We're just rocking the hips open here, a couple more breaths. And then bring the knees back into the chest and place the feet down on the floor. So with the feet down on the floor, you can take one of your blocks here. This is where we get dexterity through the feet. Pick up the blocks with your feet, maybe, or grab it through your hands and place it between the thighs. If you don't have a block, no big deal. It's just that the block kind of tells the thighs to remain spaced apart a little bit so that their knees are not buckled together. So just maintain a bit of distance here between the knees as we get ready to lift those hips up. So press the hands into the floor, and on the next inhale, peel the spine away from the floor, lifting the hips up. And exhale, roll the spine down, one vertebra at a time. So let's move through that flow, two more breaths. Inhale, peel the spine away from the floor, one vertebra at a time, lifting the hips up. And exhale, roll the spine down, one vertebra at a time. So you're feeling the wave motion in your spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, peel the spine away from the floor, hips press up.
And exhale, roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. And on that next breath, last one, inhale, peel the spine away from the floor, lifting the hips. We're going to stay here for 2 breaths. Gently rock the head side to side so that you're checking that there's no tension in the neck. One more breath here, pressing the hips up, and exhale, slowly roll the spine down. Slow, controlled movements here. And releasing, removing the block between the thighs, draw the knees into the chest, hands on the knees, and rock it side to side. Again, draw a circle with the knees, and opposite direction circle with the knees, and open and close the knees here, like butterfly wings. And our favorite one here for releasing the legs, extend the legs up, hands on the floor beside the hips, and give the legs a good shake out until everything is loosey-goosey. Ankles, quads, calves. Twirl the ankles around a couple times, and opposite direction twirling of the ankles. Release the knees into the chest, open up the arms beside you, and we're going to rock the knees side to side 3 times on each side, rolling your head in the opposite direction. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, knees to the right, rolling the head out to the left. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, knees to the left, rolling the head out to the right. One more time. Inhale, knees to center. Release knees to the right, roll the head out to the left. And inhale, knees to center. Exhale, knees to the left, roll the head out to the right. On that next breath, bring the knees back up to center and extend the legs out in front of you for Shavasana, final relaxation. So I'll help you guys here through, I'll assist you through our Shavasana with a guided visualization as you take a moment to get as comfortable as you possibly can. Walk the heels forward so that the legs are long. Lift the hips and stretch your tailbone down to the heels. Walk your hands down, lengthening the shoulders, and then gently rock the head side to side. Stay lying down here with your eyes closed as we spend our next few moments together. I'll just come to a seated position so I can guide you guys better, but for you, you're remaining lying down, eyes closed. And together, let's inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Feel your shoulders sink into gravity. Feel the legs, hips, lower back, shoulder blades, and back of the head sink even deeper into the center of the earth. The pull of gravity, like a hug around the body. A familiar comfort of gravity giving you a big hug around you, the entire surface of your body. From here, you can rest your hands or one hand on the belly. You want the elbow to rest on the floor so that the arms and shoulders are comfortable and holding 0 tension. And with 1 or 2 hands at your belly, feel the belly rise on the inhale and surrender back into gravity on the exhale.
Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And continue to follow that wave of your breath in the belly. Hear yourself breathe, that soft whisper at the back of the throat. And on that next breath, bring your attention towards the feet. And inhale, flex the feet, holding that tension. And exhale, release. Bringing your attention towards the leg muscles. Inhale, squeeze the leg muscles tight. And exhale, release. You're still lying down with your eyes closed. And bring your attention towards the glutes, the bum muscles. And inhale, squeeze the glutes tight. And exhale, release. Bringing your attention towards the lower back. Inhale, press the lower back into the floor. And exhale, release. Then moving up to the shoulders. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, release. Moving up to the hands. Inhale, squeeze the hands into fists, roll them around. Exhale, splay the hands open and release. Moving up to the face. Inhale, squeeze the muscles of the face tight. And exhale, release. Every single part of the body releasing down into the center of the earth. On that next breath, let's take the hands and stretch them up overhead behind us. You're still lying down, you're just stretching the arms back behind you. Rock the hands side to side, feel your side ribs open up. A big stretch and a big yawn on your next breath. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, yawn. Hear yourselves yawn. Really let go there. And then draw the knees into your chest, still lying on your backs. Hugging the knees in with your hands. And rolling onto your side. 2 breaths here, relaxed on your side before we get up together. On that next breath, use your hands to guide yourselves up to seated position. Comfortably seated, hands at the heart, eyes closed. And with the eyes closed, inhale, lengthen through the crown, tall spine. And exhale, bow the chin in towards the heart, plugging your tailbone into the center of the earth. With the hands at the heart, spread the fingertips wide open. Thumbs dive into your heart, pinkies stretch away. And on that next breath, inhale, widen the space of the heart. And exhale, bring your palms back together. 2 more of these, building energy expansion at the heart. Inhale, widen the space, feel the front of the heart expand. And exhale, bring it back together. Now bring your attention to the back of the heart. Let's do the same thing with the back of the heart. Inhale, widen the space between the palms. Feel the energy at the back of the heart expand. And exhale, bring the hands back together. Good. Rub the hands together. Feel that heat and energy come through the hands. And use that to smooth out the body, arms, chest, back, legs. Shake it out. And thank yourselves for coming today, for showing up for yourselves. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. And I just want to show you guys the view here. Every morning, I like to look at, let's see if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. I like to look at the Canada geese flying over from Rocky Point Park. Maybe you can see a little slip of the water over there. That's where I teach paddleboard yoga in the summers. Looking forward to getting back out on the water this summer. But the geese fly there every morning and fly back towards Coquitlam, I think, to Lafarge Lake. And then in the evening, they fly back in formation back towards Rocky Point Park for their nests and sleeping for the night. So enjoy these simple yet beautiful moments, guys, because we do have lots to be grateful for while we are collectively figuring out our new normals and adapting to a lot of changes. And we're under a lot of pressure. So while you're experiencing whatever challenges you may be experiencing, remember that you are loved, and remember that our world is a place to collectively figure it out together. Big love to you. Okay.